What's that popping?
Yeah, I think we blew a speaker at some point, probably when we were at the car show and we were trying to tune the amplifier and put as much power as we could to the speakers. I think we blew a speaker on the driver's side. So, no, it was my fault. We probably pushed it too much, but no, we're gonna get it replaced. So, video coming up here on what we're gonna do and some changes we're gonna make. So,
let's get started.
Let's do it. Hey, again, welcome back to the channel. Like Monk said at the beginning, I messed up. And what I mean by mess up, went to tune our stereo while at one of the car shows. Working with a friend who actually has done car installs and that before. And we were trying to tune the Kicker Key 200.4 in the Bronco because I just left the switches kind of just set from the factory and from Kicker, the two knobs that you have basically to put more power to your speakers, I just had them down at the bottom. I didn't want to put any more power to them with the amplifier, which is kind of against what an amplifier is for. But once we started tuning it, it really, I mean, you get way more power out of them, obviously, to get to the speakers. Makes the sound quality a lot better, makes everything a little bit more crisp. You can hear the different tones better. So yeah, we played around with it, but after a while, started getting some popping during some of the music we were listening to, especially from the rear speakers. We didn't get anything from the front speakers. The 4-inch ones were fine. The kick panel 6.5s were just fine, but definitely the back roll bar speakers basically were popping, especially the one behind Riley, which is behind me. You get some of those deeper bass pieces of music, and we were getting some crackling and popping. So I knew we'd blown the speaker, just probably put it beyond what it was capable of when we were tuning it. Because the nice thing about the Kicker Key is that when you start to put more power to the speakers, you have like a little light that comes on right next to the switch itself. So if you go too much, it'll give you a yellow light, and then you just tune it back as soon as you hit that light, tune it back down. Well, I've since gone back and tuned it down a little bit more, still getting plenty of power. We're just over halfway on both the front and rear speakers. But today we're unboxing our fix. This is from Crutchfield, not a sponsor of ours, but need to redo the rear speakers and upgrade them. And it's thanks to viewers like you who know more about audiophile than I do, that gave me some ideas of what to do, maybe to help our sound system do a little bit better. So we're gonna make those changes. So again, we're gonna stick with what we had from Crutchfield here. We're going with our kickers again, the 6.5. These are the CSC 665s, which is probably one of the best-selling speakers with Kicker at the 6.5. I've seen them on Crutchfield a lot, and they're still one of the better sellers. They're still one of the most powerful ones too, even versus their KS series. These are 100-watt RMS, which again, thinking about that too, I'm surprised we were actually able to pop the speakers, but maybe due to maybe just a bad pair that we got, just never know. But we're gonna try at least one different thing on the rear speakers, and hopefully it'll give us a little bit better sound and help the performance of our speakers too. So let's get into the Bronco and get it kind of disassembled and get to putting these bin. Well, we're in the Bronco, and if you haven't seen one of our videos before, we did upgrade our rear speakers. You're probably wondering why are you putting a 6.5 inch? So they're only 4-inch speakers. We did upgrade these a while ago, which I'll post a link that you can go to and see what we've placed in. We've got the SSV Works 6.5 inch speaker pods, and since these came out, there's been a number of other companies, including Mabet, that have come out with rear speaker pods to increase the size of that 4-inch speaker up to a 6.5-inch speaker. So yeah, we need to take these old Kicker CSs out and put in new ones, and figured, you know, I've got that bad popping on the driver's side. I'm just going to switch them both out, put new ones in, and upgrade some of the upgrades we've done. So let's get the speaker out and get the new one put in. All right, so to take out, first thing we're going to do is take out the 4 screws, which will remove both the grill and the speaker here, and I've already got that done. So we'll remove this, and remember the grill is separate. Oop, we lost a wire already. That could be an issue there. But yeah, we'll get this taken off, and you can see one thing we're going to do here is with that boom mat. So let's get this all taken out, and we'll rewire the new speaker. All right, now we've got the speakers out. Looking over both of them here, I really don't see anything out of the ordinary with either of them. This is the one that came out of the rear passenger side. I don't see anything at all that really tells me that there was a major issue. I got the driver's side out as well. And again, looking over the face of it, I really don't see anything. And even looking down inside, I mean, again, I'm no expert at all, but just looking down inside there, I don't really see anything again. But there's obviously an issue, so we're gonna replace them here and show you some of the upgrades we're gonna do to our upgraded speakers. All right, now we have the speakers out. And I've talked to a lot of people, and some of the guys have reviewed some of our past videos and said, you know, that boom mat is probably not a great idea, especially with a woofer. And, you know, their comments made sense, and after talking to them, you know, you want that woofer to be able to push more air. Now, I think on the 4-inch speakers that we have in the dash, these work out well because you're not getting a lot of bass, but you do want that sound directed up and out of the dash versus down and in. But we're going to be doing some upgrades, I think, to our kick panels as well, and just experimenting. And a product that I've got right here that we're going to try first on the back speakers is Kill Mat. It's sound deadening material. I'll put a link down below. I got this from Amazon. You can get it for, I think it was around $45 for 36 square feet. So we have one box here, and I figured what I'll do is I'll use the back of my boom mat as a template for how big I need for in the speaker pod. We're not coating the inside. I just want to try to keep the sound coming forward and not out the back. Obviously it's made of plastic, it's not going out the back, but also to help with rattles and that. And just, again, keep that sound moving towards the occupants versus dissipating elsewhere. So we're going to get this cut up, and we'll put this in the back of those SSV pods, and we'll see how it works. Maybe it'll be a complete fail. Maybe it'll work out pretty well. Or maybe we just won't notice. But let's give it a shot. Great thing about this boom mat is it's pretty thick material. I think this is like 80 mils thick. But you can still cut it with scissors. All right, we've got our Kill Mat cut out here. We'll try to place it in the back of those. We might have to do some trimming here, and then we'll get the speakers reinstalled without the boom mat, and hopefully everything will do really well, and we'll get a little bit more bass to it. And hopefully, if the boom mat had anything to do with maybe getting too hot in there, not being able to move enough air, maybe that'll solve our problem for down the road and, you know, longevity of the speaker. Let's get these put in, get everything buttoned up here. Well, we're back in the Bronco. We're on the rear passenger side, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of a test of it because there are some like little fins in here. For, you know, rigidity for the speaker itself. And the circle kind of fits a little bit smaller than I expected. Probably could use the outside diameter of that boom mat, but it'll put it right behind the speaker, and I think that'll work, at least for what we're trying to do, to see if this will help out. So we'll take off the adhesive, kind of get it pressed in there, and then we'll get the speaker put back in. Now, one of the cool things about this kill mat too is it's got these like little raised bubbles on it. And if you're putting this down the floor, which I think down the road, we'll do it piece by piece in upcoming videos, to put it underneath all the carpeting, just for, again, some sound deadening in that you get, again, from road noise, making the stereo sound better. But the cool thing about those dimples is that when you roll over it, it'll let you know where you've been, and then help secure the adhesive really well too, knowing that you didn't miss a spot. Let's get the speaker put back in. Well, we've got our speakers installed. You can see there's that one and the one behind my head here. So everything's plugged back together. We've removed the boom mat, and I'm hoping that the sound we're gonna get is better, and the speakers will be able to breathe a little bit better. Again, we've got more upgrades for our audio system coming up, and some pretty big ones where I'll probably have to come up with a little bit of research and development on getting some more bass in the vehicle, if you know what I mean. But yeah, why am I sitting in the back? Well, I think it's time for us to at least see what it sounds like back here, make sure everything worked out well. So let's listen to one of Monk's favorite songs. Well, as always, we appreciate you guys watching. I'm looking forward to hearing what Monk has to think about this, because she sits back here more often than anybody, especially sitting back here with Riley. So she has heard what the stock speakers sound like, and I already know she feels like these really do a lot better, especially if you haven't done the amp yet. I'll put a link up here to that Kicker Key 200.4, or maybe it'll be over here. But that one really wakens up even the stock speakers, I would think. But going to these CS Kicker speakers, you've got a tweeter and a woofer combined, so you're getting the vocals better with the highs and even the mids, but then that woofer giving you a little bit more of the mid and the bass as well. So it really just makes a lot of sense to really be able to upgrade your speakers. And we'll put some links too above here to the SSV Works, and like I said, that's one pod installation option, but you've got multiple ones now on the market. But thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Have a blessed day. Bye.